everyone, thank you for tuning in. I am your instructor Joy. Thank you very much for your kind questions, comments, booking lessons with me, sending me donations here and also on my Patreon page, volunteering with your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So this video will be an answer to extra subscribers. Many of you have been asking about vibrato, how one could integrate vibrato into pieces, how one could vibrate competently, how one could gain a control of vibrato, and so on. All very good questions. All of us, whether professional, amateur, beginner, students, we all come back to vibrato technique to refine and then to make it better, because it's one of the most, if not the most difficult violin technique, actually a technique of all string players. So I'm going to first mention the common problems that I see in my studio when it comes to a vibrato, and second, how one could review and improve those in your daily practice, and three, how one could integrate into pieces and which pieces would be good for you. Now let's start with the common problem. The common problem that I see in my teaching studio when I see violinists losing the control of vibrato is something like this. So now we feel like we have to bring our hand towards us. That's kind of instinct motion of human being, I think. When we are a little nervous, when we feel like we're losing control, we want to bring things towards our body. But if you think about it, the motion is not bringing towards us because there's a nail at the other end of the finger. So if you go towards you, there is more room to go. So it actually has to be pulled away from us, which is against our nature, because that's where the flesh is, that's where the nice sound comes from, right? So that's most common problem that I see. So when you feel like you're losing control of vibrato, simply just reviewing the motion of being the left arm or left hand being pulled away, not towards you, yeah? Just simply, instead of bringing towards you, bring it away, yeah? By exaggerating the motion, yeah? That's gonna solve it right away. The common problem number 2 that I see is a lot of people, when we feel like we're losing control of vibrato, or we want to do it and somehow it's not working, and we're pushing and pushing by vibrating fast. That's again, it's our instinct reaction, isn't it? When we feel a little scared, we're nervous, we kind of want to move away or acting fast. Actually, it should be the other way around. Slow down. So when you feel like you're losing control, just slow down and analyze, see what is going on. See if you can gain the control of your left hand motion, meaning just move away slowly until you see. There are more, but those are 2 common problems that I see. Okay. How do we review those vibrato technique and to improve? First, simple review of how vibrato works. No matter how long you've been vibrating, it's always worth to go back to basic steps. So vibrato motion starts from the curved joint. Make sure the finger joints are curved, and then your arm or your left hand gets pulled away and then bring it back. I'm using arm vibrato, therefore my lower arm gets pulled away, but if you're using wrist vibrato, it would be more wrist motion, yeah? So make sure that's the motion, and then just review that one in each finger, either with bow or without bow. For pinky, I like to leave the third finger on to support the pinky. Some people do it without it. No matter whichever you do, make sure your finger joint is curved so you have room to get flatten a bit and come back. Yeah, once you review that, then now we're going to learn how to gain the control by using a specific number of vibrato and specific type of vibrato. Wide, and the vibrato can be wide, narrow, slow, and fast, and so on. For example, let's start with 1 oscillation per bow, and feel free to pause between bows or between fingers so that you can stay relaxed with your left hand. 1 oscillation per bow would wide and slow. So make sure the oscillation starts with a curved finger joint and ends with it. So then you do each finger. Then for finger, then pinky. Yeah, make sure you're not moving the other wrong part, always keeping the correct motion without moving in different directions. That should be done. Then you increase the number of oscillations. So you could do 2 each finger. Now first finger, pinky. And like this you would increase the number. Let's say next would be 3, 4, 5, 6, whichever works. Now you have to understand, if something is not working, you tried it 4 oscillations and you feel like you're not having control, then go back to the 3 oscillations. Always feel free to go back, or all the way to 1 oscillation per bow. Here our focus is gaining the control over our left hand motion, not try to fit as many vibrato as possible. And like that, going back and forth, reviewing, let's say 4 narrow and slow, 4 oscillations per bow, narrow and slow. Like that, yeah? So you would work on all fingers. If you want to add 1 more to improve your vibrato, this time try to vibrate as many as you can, but do it over 2 or 3 bows. Here our focus should be, you have to continue vibrating, especially at the bow change, because that's another thing a lot of violinists tend to have trouble with. We tend to stop vibrating when we change the bow. So you want to continue vibrating, especially at the bow change, something like this. Now here, and then again. That could be another one that you could add. So once you worked on, once you cleaned up your vibrato technique, then let's talk about how to integrate vibrato technique into your pieces. So when it comes to finding pieces or learning how to vibrate, or learning how to apply vibrato technique within your repertoire pieces, either you work a small section of your repertoire so that you can really work on vibrato technique without being too much occupied with other techniques going on, or pick a piece that's a bit easier than you. If you happen to be level 4, let's say from level 1 to 10 you're about level 4, then pick a piece that's about level 2 or 3. That way it's a little easier to play the tunes, but it allows you to master your vibrato better. Another way of finding good pieces would be pick a piece that has a little long notes here and there, where you can use vibrato. Prefer not one after the other, but with a little other fast pieces in between, fast notes in between, meaning you can try to vibrate on half notes, dotted quarter notes, dotted half notes, so whichever over 1 beat notes would be a good way. Something like long ago in G major, which can be found in Suzuki book 2, so it goes like this. Here you try to vibrate with a specific number of oscillations, let's say 3. Yeah, then again 3 oscillations. Yeah, and number of oscillations or how long you vibrate again depends on what level you are in with your vibrato exercises. Try to avoid the pieces that's too busy with the bow techniques, such as slur or string crossings, but then we get distracted with the other technique, even though that's what we want to ultimately achieve. But here, one step at a time, work on pieces, find pieces that can help you to focus on vibrato technique alone without being distracted with other techniques. Yeah, but most of all, it's very important to be patient and then be courageous enough to go a step back when it needed and review again. And surely enough, you will get it. But it's more game of patience and perseverance. Yeah, but nice thing about working with your muscle, if you collect enough correct muscle memory, it will stay with you, it will do it for you even if you don't think about it. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again. Bye bye.